Hello everyone, I'm Jayden and I will be your host tonight. Welcome to the second episode of Get Inspired Today. As an educator, what excites you the most?
The three of us, we have the educator blood run within us.
So I kickstarted a series of YouTube videos teaching microbeat in Mandarin. It really excites me when I see the evidence of learning happening around me.
What is the STEM reality in Malaysia? And what do you think are the most essential skills a child should have?
You really need to understand what is STEM inside the content of STEM rather than the terminology itself. Every one of us has our own role to play.
Microbeat is one of the projects that can be a huge impact in helping educators introduce microbeat to students.
Hello everyone, I'm Jayden and I will be your host tonight. Welcome to the second episode of Get Inspired Today. This is a 6-episode series where we will uncover many interesting topics about coding and programming from inspiring speakers and guests that coming from different backgrounds and ages. The objective of this series is to inspire those of you out there who are into coding and programming to continue pursuing your passion and interests. What better place to get started than a place where inspiring coders and programmers gather together to share their experiences and knowledge. Today, we will have a special coffee session with microbeat champions. Tonight, we have all the Malaysia representatives microbeat champions with me, who are Dr. Ruzlaini Ghoni, the Associate Professor at University College TATI, Cikgu Muhammad Azrul, Cikgu Juara Digital from MRSM Merbok, and Teacher Jayden, our very own teacher from Arus Academy. But before we start our interview with our special guests, I would like to let everyone know that there is also a lucky draw session tonight where you stand a chance to win 2 microbeat quick start kit worth up to RM100. Fill in your name in the Google form provided in the description down below to register yourself for the lucky draw. Announcement of the winners will be made on our Instagram account at Guru Future Skills. So do follow us on Instagram to find out if you are one of the lucky winners. Without further ado, let's get started and talk to our amazing guests. First, thanks for spending time with us today. Personally, I am a super fan for microbeat, so I am actually very excited to gain the first-hand sharing from our guests tonight. I started learning microbeat 2 years back and have completed several projects under guidance from our coaches at Arus Academy. And my recent project is about recycling for food. Every time I completed a project, I gain something either technically or improve my soft skill, and I really enjoy it so much. I believe you have completed a lot more projects, and for sure, there are many experiences that you can share with our viewers today. Could you please share with us the most meaningful project you are part of?
Okay, thanks Jayden for the very cute introduction. Okay, so basically I've been into a lot of project facilitating and mentoring kids from the age like 8 years old until 18, 17 years old. So apart from all those projects, the most meaningful one is the recently that I would like to share. I've been mentoring 2 teams from Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Cukai Kemaman with 2 categories. The first category is from 8 years old until 14 years old, and the second category is from the 15 years old until 18 years old. And Alhamdulillah, the team from 15 to 18 years old has won first time for Malaysia for Asia Pacific region with their title Oxygen Percentage Analyzer. So I think that is the most memorable moment for me with all the kids out there.
Okay, for me, being one of the microbeat champions was the most meaningful project of my career. I get to know teachers all over the world, can exchange view and ideas. I learned microbeat is not in Malaysia. I learned microbeat at Paris 2019, and when I came back to Malaysia, I tried to use microbit to teach my students. I had a huge impact of my teaching and learning. I had learned from teachers all around the world how they teach for students from their country and acceptable to teaching in Malaysia. That's for me.
Wow, such an inspiring sharing from Dr. Ruzlaini and also Cikgu Azrul. For me, I think the most meaningful project that I'm part of so far is the hashtag Boleh Code project. It's an initiative that we really wanted to reach out to as many coders in Malaysia as possible, so that every one of us could really master coding skills, be it microbit coding skills, be it HTML coding skills, any kind of coding skills. We encourage and welcome everyone to at least acquire one programming skills. There are a lot of challenges and so much more that we could improve on, but then I'm so proud to see that when majority of the participants, they wrote in the feedback form that they hope maybe we will organize it again like next year. It is very, very heartwarming to receive support from the schools, from the parents, from the students themselves. Like we started off with the aim to elevate understanding of students in our national syllabus subjects, for example, design technology subject, basic computer science and computer science subjects. And it is really, really heartwarming to see the students themselves. They are on the way to prove to us that they can create very creative and innovative projects from our national syllabus itself. I'm very proud of them, and maybe to use this opportunity as well to send my regards to all the 300 plus young coders who are eligible to march forward to national level in October. So all the best in the competition later. Back to you, Jayden.
That was very interesting. I wish I would have a chance to work with that kind of projects too. Steve Jobs ever stated that everybody in this country should learn how to program a computer because it teaches you how to think. Learning an essential skill like coding has a lot of benefits at a young age by properly preparing a child for our increasingly technology dependent world. Some of the biggest challenges now and future might get solved with a few lines of code. If you were to introduce programming to a 5-year-old child, how will you pick his or her interest?
Okay, Jayden, in my opinion, to introduce of code for 5 years old should be a fun thing. At this point, their focus is sound, light, and movement, like my daughter. So I introduced to my daughter a simple code and they were happy to do it. An example, as I introduced a robot that follow the line. The robot are already programming and my daughter needs to draw a line for the robot to the move. Okay, this from my opinion.
Interesting, very interesting. This question brought me to think about my nephew, because there was one time he saw my post on Instagram and then he got hooked by it. And then the post was about a baby shark music box, that goes baby shark is literally like that, and it is built by using microbit itself. So I wish I could see him after this pandemic, because he's in KL, I'm in Penang, and teach him how to build the project together. And perhaps I could further challenge him to maybe with rescuing the baby shark game, where he needs to solve different puzzles and remove plastic waste in order to rescue the baby shark. I guess it's gonna be very fun.
Okay, I so agree with both of you, Cikgu Azrul and with Yiti. So as for me, I think kids at age of 5 years old, their intention is more on fun learning, gamification. So I think my way of introducing to them is just showing any random robots, whatever they like to play with, like any games, any kids games, and then let them play. And from that, I think I might say to them or mention to them, why don't we build that kind of game, a very simple game like a moving robot, a walking robot grabbing anything. So I think first is to pick their interest, then next is to get them into coding. So I think that's all for me. Go back to you, Jayden.
Wow, great inputs. I will take note on that and will experiment it with my 5-year-old brother once our program ended. The most interesting project I made with microbit is recycling for food. This project is aligned to United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, Sustainable Cities and Communities. How about yours? Could you please share that with all of us today?
Sure, it's my pleasure to share the project with everyone here. I will share one of the project that I made that resemble the concept of 3D printer. So by using the screw threads and also nuts pairing with a motor, I created an automated car park system with remote control. So like you can see the video if there's a video. So in the video, you can see like when the button A is pressed and then it will lift up the platform. And then when button B is pressed, it will lower down the platform. So this is one of the solutions that we can create when to solve the problems of overcrowded and congested congestion in city. Given that there is limited space to build car parks. And so like an automated multi-level car park built on limited space, I guess that is a very interesting project that I have been involved in before.
Okay, like mine, the project I like the most was being with my daughter. She's now 7 years old. By using microbit to build a mini concert, because she very like music. So why not? We use microbit to build a mini concert, and using used material, we complete a project that combines sound and movement, and it's a very exciting project. And my daughter is very happy to make it, and we make together. It's very useful project, and she very happy. That's one of my best project that I make with microbit.
Okay. As for me, we are more into data logging nowadays, regardless of. Yes, the thing is that we always think that microbit is a tiny kit. I always call it tiny kit, which is with like so kecil with very limited function. But then I would like all of us, all the students, to know that the function of microbit is beyond that. Into data logging, in which you use the radio communication in microbit with 2 microbit function, and then how you will write down all the data, recording all the data on real-time basis, and even downloaded all the recorded data and analyze using Microsoft Excel. I think that is the most what we are into nowadays, attracting everybody to, okay, come on, do data logging. I think that is the most excitement for me at the time being. So go back to you, Jayden.
I'm really amazed with the projects. It's really an eye-opener. Aside of doing personal projects, you are also taking part in educating our young talents. As an educator, what excites you the most?
Okay, as an educator, for me, I love it most when students can give something that benefit for themselves and society. So when they success in their respective field, I can feel the satisfaction there. So the most importantly, they were able to repay their parents. This is a very excited for me.
I felt you. As part of the microbit champion journey, I feel the urge to really contribute to the society. So I realized that there are a lot of resources out there in English and in Bahasa Melayu, but then they are lacking of resources in Mandarin. So I kickstarted a series of YouTube videos teaching microbit in Mandarin, and then from there, what excites me the most is when students really comment on the video itself, and then one of the students asked, why did I stop uploading the videos? Because I finished the entire series of 10 videos, then I stopped. Then he said that his teacher is using my videos to teach the subject and hope that I could upload more videos. So it is really excites me when I see the evidence of learning happening around me. How about you,
Okay.
Dr. Ruzlaini?
Okay, I think all of us, the three of us, we have the educator blood run within us. So I think all of us are going to speak about the same thing, the same excitement. So as for me, I think it's similar with both of you. What excites me most is I would like to attract as more students, regardless of you are lacking in the most feared students is like bahasa. Like for you is Mandarin, but for us Malay is English. Betul tak, Cikgu Azrul? It's English.
Yeah, yeah.
So they think microbit like so privileged. They don't understand English, so they can't coding. So I think that is what the most barrier I would like to break, especially among rural area students. So that is my mission since 2017, to go as many students in rural area. You don't have to understand English. You don't have to be good in coding. You don't have, as long as you can read, that's all you need to code. So I think that is my most excitement and satisfaction. Go back to you, Jayden.
That is really motivating. I'm now considering to volunteer myself to be an educator to newbie in microbit so that I could have the same excitement as well. Today's children are more familiar with technology than any prior generation, but just being familiar with technology is not enough. Students nowadays need a solid foundation in STEM to compete in careers where technical knowledge, problem solving, and relationship building are essential elements of the field. In your opinion, what is the STEM reality in Malaysia? And what do you think are the most essential skills a child should have?
Okay, that is a great question. As you can see in social media nowadays, people are starting to talk about STEM, STEM, STEM. So my point is that you really need to understand what is STEM inside the content of the STEM rather than the terminology itself. STEM stand for science, technology, whatever it is. But what is the content of STEMs? It's the excitement, the interest of students into STEM, into learning sciences, into integrating the mathematics, the technology, the science within one core that we call it as STEM. I think that is more rather important as you just name yourself as STEM movement, whatever. And then what is the most must-have skill for these students nowadays? We are talking about PAK 21, pembelajaran abad ke-21. You need to have creative thinking skill. You need to have problem solving skills. You need to have collaboration skills. You need to have teamwork skills. So my most skill that I will always ask the student is the why skills. The always asking the why skill. I think that is the core towards the creative thinking, problem solving thinking. Look at every items around you. So why this happen? Can I make this one? Why can't I do like this? Why it needs to be like this? I think that is the most skill that the students nowadays should have, with all the 4 skills that I mentioned previously.
Okay, I agree with Doctor. For me, we are now at the beginning of the fourth industrial revolution, and educators are faced with a preparing a generation of students who many jobs don't even exist yet. So this is the challenge. Malaysia is heading in that direction. Demand on STEM jobs increased 3 times between 2000 and 2010 and continue to grow with many new fields and professionals emerging each day. With advance in artificial intelligence, millions of jobs are now vacant. So clearly, STEM is the key to the careers of the future and needs many more participants. Good STEM education must not be boring, simple and focused only on the pure fact or mathematics or science. It should be multidisciplinary, incorporating other skill and grade towards all children, so they need they can enjoy. So I think the most important step is children should enjoy the syllabus and can make more. That's what I think about that.
Agree more, Cikgu Azrul. Talking with my friends from the Philippines and from the Thailand, and I realized one thing that is good that we have already the coding syllabus in the national curriculum itself, because in other countries they don't really have it yet. So yeah, it's something to be really proud of, and then that is we know, we're aware of the importance, and we are teaching our children already. And then to say what kind of skills that is most important, to really echo what Dr. Ruzlaini and Cikgu Azrul said just now, to have the why mindset, to play, to enjoy it. I think the most important thing here is to really have a innovative led mindset. Like, we really think about, because there are so many things out there already. We are flooded with information. There are things that we just Google and then we get it. But then how do we innovate on top of all the information out there? That is a skill that we need to have to be really adaptable, to be really able to embrace the challenges in this ever-changing world. So yeah, the next time if we have problems, then we'll think, what is the thing that I should do to innovate from here, I guess. Back to you, Jayden.
It seems like STEM-based education teaches children more than science and mathematics concepts. The focus on hands-on learning with real-world application helps develop a variety of skill sets, including creativity, problem-solving, critical thinking, leadership, and many more. Regardless of the future career path considered by these children, these skill sets a long way to preparing them to be a better human being. Let's move on to more personal experience. Using a word each, how will you describe the past year, and how would you describe your microbeat champion journey, and why?
Wow, this is such a big question. Okay, I would say it is the same words for me personally. It is the word fulfilling. Why I chose fulfilling is because I am like for example, just being able to learn from Doctor and also Cikgu Azrul here. I learned a lot of things already. Like in the beginning, when we first came into the circle of the microwave champions, I met Dr. Ruzlaini, and then we shared about how we are using TikTok to do teaching, to teach coding. And then Dr. Ruzlaini also now has like tens of thousands of followers on TikTok. Like, the enthusiasm and professionalism here is very highly influential, and yeah, really like very inspiring as well. I love the circle that we are in. And like, for example, another thing that I could share here is I did a workshop on Tinkercad for the teachers in police. And then guess what? I learned this from Cikgu Azrul, because of the series of video that Cikgu Azrul made, and I shared with the teachers of the series of video as well. And it is so helpful. It is so helpful for the teachers to really explore how they could innovate on teaching, or they could better teach it through PDPR. Yeah, so I really love the learning circle that sparks more collaboration and conversations inside and also outside the country. So yeah, what do y'all think?
Okay, for me, it's a long way to go. It's just a beginning, but with the support of friends, ministry, private sector, NGOs, the process of introduction Microbit to students through all Malaysian can be carried out. Microbit is one of the projects that can be a huge impact in helping educators introduce microbit to students. So with the support of Microbit Foundation, it's a very beneficial project, not just for school itself, but for the whole world. That's what I think for me.
Okay, I agree with both of you. For me, one word to describe this year is amazing. Similar words to that, it's not two words, but it's still one word, but it's similar to that word is amazing and fantastic. So I think being chosen as, the three of us being chosen as microbit champion for 2031 for pilot program selected by Microbit Education Foundation UK. I think it's, at first we feel like it's a big role to play. I mean, the three of us are representing Malaysia. So what can we do? I mean the whole Malaysia, we are representing Malaysia. And then I think at that time, all right, now is the time for me to bring Malaysia on to another level. The three of us, we can make it with our different role. Every one of us has their own role. If you look at it back, if perasan you tengok, every one of us has our own role to play. Like Yiting is into Arus Academy NGO, Cikgu Azrul is in teaching in sekolah MRSM, and mine is on higher education. You can see this link. I think that is what is the most of it after that. And then after being in that circle, knowing all of you, knowing all international microbit champion as well, then I feel like it is a time for us to giving back to society, to reach as many society as we can, to let them know microbit is for everybody. Microbit is not for a privileged group of people, privileged group of students. I think that is the twofold roles that we should play, all of us should play, and I think we have as best play our role for this year. Back to you, Jayden.
I can see that all of you really enjoy your microbit champion journey and hope that you will continue exploring the fantastic journey. There you have it, everyone. We have heard so many interesting stories from our special guests. I am sure that such stories have truly inspired many of our viewers. You can follow our guests on their social media accounts down in the description below if you have any questions that you would like to ask them personally. So, thank you so much to our guests for taking their time in sharing such valuable knowledge with me and our viewers. You can follow Future Skills for all Instagram accounts at Guru Future Skills and on TikTok at Guru Future Skills to get information on coding and programming and the upcoming episode of Get Inspired Today. As I have mentioned earlier tonight, 2 lucky winners will win a Microbit Quick Start Kit, each that's worth up to RM100. Just fill in the Google form in the description below, and we will announce the 2 lucky winners on our Instagram account at Guru Future Skills. So make sure you follow our Instagram to stay tuned to the announcement of the winners. So that is it from me tonight, and I would like to thank Arus Academy for hosting this show, and our honorable guests for coming and sharing valuable knowledge with us today. Stay tuned for the next Get Inspired Today episode. Till then, bye bye.
Bye bye.